With the passing of an aged veteran, Canada loses a piece of its history and wisdom. Oral narrations are gone forever, and the acute insight that can only come from someone who has seen the devastation of war is no longer there for our benefit. However, for the thousands of students who were lucky enough to have an audience with Jan de Vries, those historical narratives have become indelibly etched in their memories. His vivid, candid discussions with young people across the country bridge the gap between generations and experiences, giving eager minds tangible and relevant references to a time and place that would otherwise be hard to relate to.
River. They keep us in military shape. They decided to give us a parade square drill on a grass farm field. And there were two or three platoons of us out in the open field, and the German planes were attacking the coast. And one of them saw us out in the middle of the field. He turned around and he opened up with a machine gun. We all dived into our trenches. And that was the last time they ever pulled that one.
Immigrating from the Netherlands to Canada as a young boy, de Vries was quick to join the cause and defend both his adopted and mother countries when war broke out. His ambition to become a pilot was cut short with the discovery of his colorblindness, so de Vries elected to jump out of airplanes instead of flying them. As a member of the 1st Canadian Parachute Battalion, de Vries dropped from the skies over France on D-Day and survived, where many of his comrades did not. De Vries' crusade against the enemy would see him endure some of the most intense and infamous battlegrounds, like Normandy and the Battle of the Bulge.
We were asked for volunteers to go on patrol. Nobody stepped forward, so bravely says, "Come on, de Vries, we'll go." So the two of us stepped forward. There was that bush on the right-hand side where that German sniper must have got ours. The Germans were going through that bush every night, and so the only way we could do it was send a man out into that bush at night, and if they heard the Germans coming, run back to the platoon and open up fire in the bush. That would scare them off. So I was there one night, and instead of a patrol, another incident was when I was wounded. We were in this